What's up, guys? Your boy Hugo the Savage back again for another Savage Talk Live Hall of Fame edition. Why is it Hall of Fame edition? Because we are approaching WrestleMania season and we are approaching the Hall of Fame show. Class of 2020 and class of 2021, as COVID had other plans for last year. But that's not going to deter us. We are going to give the superstars the recognition, the roses, the flowers that they all deserve, because everyone in these classes do deserve to be here. They've all had an impact on the sport that we love of pro wrestling, and I'm very happy to do this show. We're going to be doing it solely on the Hall of Fame. You guys can give me your favorite memories of each person if you like. It's just some special comment to say to them. We're going to do it because you never know who's watching the channel, of course. So everyone, I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much for joining me right here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You know I'm going to run through them and shout everyone out. You know how we do. Shout out to Farhad Khan. Shout out to Martel Thomas. Shout out to Dylan. Shout out to Ashton Forges. Shout out to head of the table, Morris Reigns. Shout out to Dylan. Again, you know, like that. Brother Nero in the house. You know, like that. Who's got the whole world in his hands? John Cena face. You know, like that. Yeah. Okay. You know, like that. Shout out to Dexter YT. Yowie in the place. How is everybody doing today? I hope everyone's good. Yo, what if Jey Uso gets banned from ringside at the championship match at WrestleMania and Jimmy returns? He's banned from ringside. He's banned from ringside already, bro. You know, like that. I think so. Brother Nero, what are you saying, brother? You know, like that. Alexa Bliss in the house. You know, like that. I know who you are. You think this is the game, Claire? I see you change your name to Alexa Bliss and that, yeah? Hey, do your thing, though. Shout out to you, fresh from Poland and that. Yeah? Ashton, you know the vibes already, bro. Yeah? Man taking Demon Team to the Thunderdome. You're my guy still. Enough love, brother. Dexter, yowie, you know, like that. I hope you're well, bro. Shout out to you, Dylan. Hope you're good. Love for basketball. You know the vibes. I hope you're good. Shout out to Mike Wallace. You get me? You're in a picture of Vincent Kompany, one of the best captains to ever grace the Premier League. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I can admit it. Shout out to you. Shout out to K. Sean. I can't wait to fight you at Mania, big man. I feel bad for you because you're on your own. I got Morris ringside, you know, like that. There could be problems and that. Shout out to the Mrs. Lady Savage in the chat. Babe, one more time. You might want to change your name because people are going to find you on Instagram. But yeah, man, them spam in the chat. Lady Savage is here. You know the vibes. How is everybody doing? I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's keeping safe. You know, like that, man. It's a bit hype. I'm hyped because I love the Hall of Fame, man. I am that nerd, bro. I am that student of the game who just, yeah, man. I love the Hall of Fame, man. It's nice to see people get what they deserve. Do you know what I'm saying? We are very hooked up and time spent on Legends Nights and Raw Legends Night, and they don't really get their flowers on that. A lot of the time, they're made to look like idiots, made to look like they're not that important, which is not the nicest thing. So, you know what I mean? I'm glad to be here and speak about these guys. 3 weeks to go. I can't wait. The big man, you're going for a table, you know, like that. Shout out to Victoria Rubin, who is ready for WrestleMania and the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I'm very ready. It's quite funny because it's another thing to add to my watch-alongs for that week. I think I've got a watch-along damn near every day that week, but I will be doing the Hall of Fame watch-along for sure. My favorite memory of Kane was his debut, ripped off the Hell in a Cell door. Hope you well, Savage Reaction. I am good, man. And I see you drop the old name in the Savage Reaction. That's how you know you're a real one still. But that's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane. You know them vibes there. There's no better debut than that, you know. There's no better debut. You know what I mean? Real talk. Of course, I recognize you know, like that. Shout out to you, Claire. You got me winning. Okay, bro. Listen, I'm ready, bro. I can wrestle my ass off, you know, like that. WrestleMania and Jacksboro coming soon, you know. You know the vibes. Poppy needs to record that WrestleMania theme. So I think so, man. Poppy's was it a song at NXT TakeOver? Naughty. She's a bit scary though. I think what's more scary is Poppy's band because they've all got her face on, and some of them are men, you know, like that. Brother Nero says I'm gonna be ref and don't call it straight down the middle, you know, like that. Shout out to Bradley Masamba. Good to see you in the chat, brother. We're all ready, man. We're all ready. If the Weeknd performs WrestleMania 37, I will turn a lot. I don't want the Weeknd to perform. I mean, his song was the theme song for last year's WrestleMania, and The reason why I don't like that song is because of the lead up to WrestleMania. Every YouTube video you go on, the advert came on and it was just killing me. So, and then he performed at the Super Bowl. You know that. I'm a bit partial to Savage. Hey, that's my guy, man. I think Oscar deserves a place in the Hall of Fame. No bloody way, Claire. It's too early for that. Way too early. Oscar's WWE career ain't even been that long so far. Poppy versus Alexa Bliss. I got Alexa Bliss winning that. I suppose, is that his song for the theme? I don't know what's going on there, bro. I think he's on about Poppy. You know Poppy, the singer who done the theme song at NXT Takeover, the scary one. Hi, I'm Poppy. That one, yeah, that. How we're gonna run today's show, guys? Because I want to give everyone their flowers. I want everyone to have their say on next person. So we're gonna go first with the Hall of Fame of 2020 because obviously last year we didn't go forward. I don't want to be disrespectful to them and spend less time on them, but obviously it is 2021, and I didn't do a Hall of Fame video last year, but I've done videos talking about those guys last year. So, Brother Nero said if Morris wants to jump in and look the other way, you know, like that. Morris is, Brother Nero moving like Jey Uso and that, you know. I like the vibes though. So let's get on to I'm WrestleMania theme. What weekend song for WrestleMania? Yeah, Morris. Last, you know that was it called Blinded by the Light? That was the song for WrestleMania theme last year. Weren't happy with that. Savage, did you see Britt Baker promo shooting on Mick Foley? I did. I watched it on AEW earlier. Shout out to Brocky. Ringside Enforcer things. You know the vibes. Dexter says Kane Hall of Famer. Yep. So what we're going to do, guys, like I said, we're going to get into 2020's Hall of Fame first. And then we'll go into 2021's Hall of Fame. And then what we'll do after that, we'll just open up the floor and then we'll take some questions and stuff like that. Okay, so let's start with the Hall of Fame. Oh, that's 2021, isn't it? We're going to start with 2020, and then we're going to go through there. Now, there's probably more people being added to this or people I've left out, but these are the ones who are definitely been confirmed. I've seen, obviously, people may go with Batista and stuff like that, but he's been taken off. Reason being he can't be at the Hall of Fame ceremony. That's fine. That's fine. He's going to be put in there either way. So, Bradley Masamba says Daniel Bryan deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Yeah, I mean, guys, what I would say is with people wanting certain people to be in the Hall of Fame, if you look at the history of the Hall of Fame, there's normally a big time span before somebody gets put in there, unless they're retired. So I wouldn't put Daniel Bryan in there yet. Some people are definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame, but it doesn't mean they need to go in there straight away. So I wouldn't put Daniel Bryan in for another 5, 6, 7 years, maybe, even longer than that. Bear in mind, Bradley, you're saying Daniel Bryan should go in. The Rock isn't in the Hall of Fame yet. Do you know what I'm saying? So if The Rock ain't in the Hall of Fame, I don't want to hear about some other people being in the Hall of Fame. I do hope that Chris Jericho goes in the Hall of Fame at some point. AEW or no AEW, because he's a legend. I'm guessing Undertaker is going to be the sole inductee of Class of 220. Yeah, that's what I said. This geezer's going to need his own wing or his own weekend or something. I would actually induct The Rock next year. Not because of him being better than anyone, but the fact that it's at Hollywood, I mean, they're doing Tampa Bay now and The Rock's not going in, so I'll put Hollywood. I would induct The Rock in there. But you know, well, Donald Trump is in the Hall of Fame, so Oscar is not one day. Yeah, Donald Trump's in the Hall of Fame, but Oscar's still wrestling. She's still wrestling. She's still young. She's not been there that long, and Donald Trump's in the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame, along with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Snoop Dogg and people like that. So, 2021, join the Undertaker surprise final. The Bella's Hall of Fame, oh dear. No, I think they deserve it, man. We're going to go into it now, but I think the Bella Twins deserve it. You have to remember what I will say with the women. I know that Brother Nero agrees well, but with the women, I don't know how old everyone is in the chat, but if you've been watching wrestling for a very long time, obviously it was different for the women back in the day. They were all down to being divas and stuff like that. We've got Tori Wilson's in the Hall of Fame now, which she deserves to be, but she hasn't done more for women's wrestling than the Bellas. The whole women's evolution thing, Bellas, Nikki's the longest reigning ever Divas champion, so for her not to be in there is a bit crazy. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? There's quite a few people that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Ashton says Donald Trump in the Hall of Fame before Undertaker and The Rock. No, Ashton, once again, this is what I'm saying. Don't just listen to other people. Read up on what's going on. There's a celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame. The Rock won't be in the celebrity wing. He's going to be in the actual Hall of Fame. The celebrity one's a joke anyway. Snoop Dogg's in there. I don't need to say anymore. He hasn't done anything for the wrestling business. He's just performed every now and again. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's no one going to talk about the great Carly. I mean, Bradley, I said we're talking about the class of 2020 first, and then we're going to go on to 2021. Great Carly's in 2021's class. Anyway, Oscar going right now. But, oh, yeah, Oscar in the future already. We know she's going to be in there. So, yeah. Brother Nero says, why is Brie going in? Well, the Bella Twins were a tag team for most of the time they were in the WWE. So, yeah, I mean, we're talking about, like, it's easy to say, but if you look back at the history of women's wrestling and you look back at it over the last decade, if you're talking about prominent stars, apart from all the people who were coming from NXT, the Bella Twins were the focal point of that. Yeah, Claire, I agree. Paige will be in there in the future, I'm sure. She probably, more than anyone, got the women's evolution popping. I know there was talk about the 4 horsewomen and stuff like that, but Paige is the actual, you know what I mean? A lot of these women came from, Charlotte was a gymnast. Some of them were models and stuff, actors, you know what I mean? Paige's wrestling family, been wrestling all life, so Batista should still be put in regardless if he can't make it. They do the awards on behalf of someone. No, guys, I don't know if you guys have been it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing that he's not being put in there now. It's basically saying that he deserves better than not being there. So we're gonna put him in another time. I don't see the problem with that. I don't think Batista should be someone accepting on his behalf. He's not dead. So you know what I mean? And like I said, with The Rock, it's Hollywood next year. He's an actor now. So yep. It's gonna be a dangerous week, that, bro. Savage, did you see Lance Archer's promo? It looked like you were gonna. Yep, I seen it. Dope. They didn't really wrestle, though. I think it's best to forget that era. Who didn't really wrestle? The Bellas definitely wrestled. That's a myth if you're saying that they didn't wrestle. Nah, an absolute myth. Nima, shout out to you, bro. Up, Savage. So we're going to go in terms of this because everyone's sending comments in, but we're not talking about the actual people. So 2020, we're going to start with the NWO. NWO, black and white. Now, obviously, most of this is down to WCW. While they've been in the Hall of Fame, the running in WWE was average at best, and obviously not every member of NWO is going into the Hall of Fame because at one point, damn near every single person who was in WCW is in NWO. So yeah, we are talking just about Hall of Fame from now, guys. So any other questions you got, wait till later on, so we don't keep going back and forth because otherwise your question won't get answered. But yeah, so Hall of Fame, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and X-Pac will be the NWO inductees. Now, makes sense. That is the core of NWO. That is the core of NWO. It's weird because when I think of NWO now, I think of about X-Pac, but before, I mean, in the NWO, what was he called? 6, bro. Yeah, I mean, like he's DX to me all over. You know what I'm saying? He ain't NWO. But listen, what can you say about NWO? Well, for starters, they set trends, bro. They changed the game. They're in terms of merchandise, probably the biggest selling WCW, WWE merchandise of all time, away from John Cena. People, I mean, I've got NWO red, NWO black t-shirts, but even now when you go out, just random places, you see people with NWO tops on or NWO hats. They were a bit dodgy on WCW if you think of, you know, if you think of in terms of how they were a part of the company, but obviously I was a little kid at the time, so I didn't know too much about them demanding wages and all that stuff like that. But massive, massive impact in wrestling. One of the greatest theme songs. Yeah, man. Morris, I see the face, bro. Hulk Hogan. I know. But let's be honest. NWO being inducted about Hogan is a bit crazy, whether you like him or not. Wrestling inductees without Hulk Hogan's a bit mad. I mean, he's going to be at the he's going to be the host of WrestleMania with Titus O'Neil anyway, so he's already going to be there on that weekend. Funny because a lot of them are already in. I mean, Scott Hall, I remember his speech from not long ago. You know what I mean? And the bad guy speech, famous, infamous white suit. So that was pretty dope. Brother Nero, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, why is 6 being inducted? The original 4 were Hogan, Nash, Hall, and Ted DiBiase. I don't think it's down to who was the original, because that doesn't. It's about when their prime was as a group, when they done their most incredible stuff as a group. And for me, I wouldn't put Pac in there, but I wouldn't. Well, 6, and I wouldn't put Ted DiBiase in there as well. It doesn't matter if he was the original member. It's about when they took off at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely have Hogan, Nash, and Hall, and that would probably be it for me. But yeah, man, infamous stuff, great group. Not much more to say on them. Everyone's already, you know what I'm saying. Morris says the Divas era was a shambles. Shout out to Michelle McCool, Layla, Kelly, Beth Phoenix, Eve Torres, and that. But still, I think it's a bit disrespectful. Not you as a person, because you know I like you, bro, but it's a bit disrespectful to just say that, because it was a shamble in terms of how they were being viewed and how. You know what I mean? But that wasn't their fault. You know what I mean? If somebody gives you a match and tells you got 4 minutes, well, a minute and a half of that is your entrance. And you got no time on TV. So what do you do with that? Beth Phoenix got away with it because look at her. She's strong as hell. She was fighting men. I almost guarantee that Beth Phoenix had more airtime fighting men than she did against fighting women on the card. So I wouldn't say they were a shambles, but yeah, the Divas era was a shambles, but it wasn't their fault. Everyone was a bit sexist then. Time to change, man. Time to change. So, and the Bella Twins mixed both eras. So they were Divas era as well when they came in, the Diva search, but they entered the Women's Evolution as a tag team. They had that whole feud with Authority and Stephanie. That was both of them as well. Then they had the Bella Army, which was a bit like meh. And then, but while that time, Nikki had the belt, longest reigning Divas champion of all time. You know what I mean? Quite ridiculous. And then her matches only got better towards her finishing, which is crazy. Of course, she had that WrestleMania match with her and John, which is a bit of a shambles now, considering he proposed to her and they didn't get married anyway. But yeah, man, that's what it is, bro. Morris says we have to deal with 2 days of him hosting, which ruins excitement personally for me now. Yeah, I'm not interested in Hogan apart from when he was in the ring back in the day. Everything else is a bit of a mess. I heard Hall of Fame is Tuesday of Mania week. Yeah, it is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, and then NXT is Wednesday and Thursday. And then we move on to normal Friday night SmackDown, and then Saturday and Sunday WrestleMania. I feel like WWE is just trying to make people angry by putting Hogan with Titus. Is that in terms of the fact that to put like Hogan with a black dude? Because that's actually quite funny. It does look a bit pandery. I'll take Titus O'Neil hosting it on his own, to be honest. I don't need Hogan there. But he's got one of them dodgy contracts with WWE. And I think when you're talking about the older demographic, they all know who Hulk Hogan is, bro. He's like one of the most famous wrestlers of all time. Shout out to Zen. Well, bro, I thought he was going to change your name by now, bro, but still ain't changed. Emergency alert system. Yeah, we did hear that one. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Shout out to Lord of Darkness in the chat. Shout out to you. Legendary for sure. We're going to get onto that. It's a bit silly. Raw returns to the Thunderdome after WrestleMania, but I hope one day the audience will come back. Next year, it will surely be even worse. Yeah, so let me explain that, Dexter, just so you understand why. So with fans coming back, it's based on the size of a stadium, if that makes any sense. So because the Raymond James Stadiums hold so many people, they can be spaced out in between. It has to hold more than a certain amount, and obviously they're doing everything at the PC at the moment. So while they're at the Thunderdome place, which doesn't hold as many people, I reckon maybe a couple of weeks after we're back to normal. But you're right, because the Raw After Mania is normally massive. And yeah, I don't really want it to be like that, but I understand exactly what you're saying. Shout out to Anna. Liger being looked for is such a good thing for wider wrestling community. You've seen WWE is undeniable legend in the wrestling ring. Yep. Liger is it's almost Liger's one of the people for me that if they say they love wrestling and they ask me who he is, I don't. You need to go and do research, man. You know what I mean? I'm finding out a lot these days that we've got newer members to the wrestling community. People start watching wrestling and stuff, and they speak about people of the past, like the rubbish, like the trash, and you haven't watched them. You didn't watch them in their prime because you either weren't born or you was a little kid, and you haven't bothered to go back and watch people. You know what I'm saying? I had a conversation with somebody the other day about Dean Malenko, and the guy tried to tell me that he's some trash guy. I'm like, bro, go and watch proper wrestling. You know what I mean? Because I have a friend of mine who doesn't care about women's wrestling, and he thinks the same as it was in the Divas era. Yeah, it's all different now. Never forget Great Khali squash Kane at WrestleMania. Yeah, man, and Great Khali's debut again when he's give Undertaker the palm, and yeah, the debut took out. Yeah, man, the big chop, big touch. Okay, so next person on that list, we spoke about the Bella Twins. Let's talk about JBL. Let's talk about JBL, bro. You know what I mean? Seriously, Bradshaw, I don't want to hear anybody in this chat say he doesn't deserve it. Damn, dope. Absolute dope guy. Another, like, he's had more than one run in the WWE. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the acolytes, APA Protection Agency, him on his own, singles, JBL. Bro, listen, JBL deserves everything, and I was very excited last year when they announced it. Sadly, he didn't get to put in there last year, but I hope he gets everything he deserves this year. Arguably, obviously, Kane will get the mainstay of the whole program, which is fine because man's a legend. But JBL, absolutely dope. I can't. I don't know. It's absolutely dope, bro. Anyone got any memories of JBL? Murray says clothesline from hell, one of the best finishers in the WWE. Dope. I must say that my favorite Bradshaw JBL is the JBL character. I love the acolytes. I love the acolytes with Ministry of Darkness. I love APA Protection Agency because just the fact that they had a door with no building is the dopest thing I've ever seen. People were knocking the door when you could just walk around. Dope. But JBL, I mean, his character was racist as hell, but it was funny. I'm sorry. And I only just watched, the infamous Catching Immigrants segment. I not only just watched it, but I mean, I watched it a day or two ago. That is hilarious, bro. Yeah, it's racist as hell, but it's funny, bro. It's, this guy's not got a racist bone in his actual body for real. His feud with Eddie, Brother Nero just alluded to it, brother. It wasn't his nan, it was his mum. It was his mum, bro. Absolutely dope. The infamous matches with John Cena. Yeah, crazy, man. And yeah, that's the thing with the old mum thing. I think it was a shoot as well, so it's a bit of a you know what I'm saying? Anna says, I met Liger in March 2020 at War of Worlds, Bethnal Green. Stunning moment for me and my son meeting a living legend. Lovely guy. Real fun as well. That's funny you said that I met Tucha von der Liger in Wolverhampton in 2016, 17. He was at what was the event called? I know about the event there was Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Liger, Ricochet, I think, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, and what's his name? Mark. What's his name again? Have I lost it? Mark Andrews. I think it was like a 4-on-4, but that's absolutely dope, and I'm very happy for you. Like, I've had the chance for my son to see legends in the flesh as well. It's a great moment. I was so happy, and like I said on this channel not long ago, when my son saw Kurt Angle wrestle, he was part of the Shield, but when he saw him wrestle, the guy cried, bro. Because you know what I'm saying. Savage, I watched Hulk Hogan matches. I couldn't watch matches to the end. He's a living legend business, but he was terrible in the ring. I know it was a different time. I don't agree. Hogan wasn't terrible in the ring. Go back and watch Hogan versus The Rock. That's the only match you need to see. Go and watch Hogan versus The Rock and let me know if he was terrible, because that's one of the greatest matches of all time. One of the best reactions from fans I've ever seen in my life. Dope. JBL is one of the greatest WWE champions ever. Yeah, and the fun fact, when he was the actual champion, I hated him. I hated him with everything I had because I was such a big Eddie Guerrero fan. But obviously, you grow up and you realize, oh, it's his job as a heel to get me to hate him. You know what I'm saying? And when I watch it back, stuff of genius. Because obviously, I was sold on the fact that when he was doing these little racist promos, I thought they were real. So I was like, this geezer's kicking Mexicans out of the country and stuff. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And there's one scene, you go back and watch it, guys. Go and watch Eddie versus JBL. You know, the one when Eddie gets split open and his face pouring of blood. Just watch the beginning of the match. Subtle details. Eddie climbs the rope to acknowledge the fans, and JBL's going, "How's your mom, Eddie?" And he looks back at him, and the look on Eddie's face, Mary, you can't make that up. Melissa says, "What do you think about main event night one, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks, and Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley, the main event?" I think that we shouldn't be pandering to how the world is now. So they're gonna make Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks the main event just because the women are trying to prove a point. That's very silly. Because they are just wrestlers. They are just great wrestlers. And I think personally, Bobby Lashley deserves the main event spot of night one, because we know the main event spot of night two is going to be Roman versus Edge, possibly Daniel Bryan as well. So I will go with Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Also, she's so new to the main events, and it's her first WrestleMania. Imagine if she goes out there, Bianca Belair, in that match with Sasha, and it's trash, and they finish the show. You won't be able to live it down, especially with fans coming back in the stadium. Protect her, put it in the middle of the show, and we'll get a great spectacle of these women wrestling, and then give the men something to follow. Up there with Vince as one of the greatest heels. Big facts, man. You guys know when we done our greatest heel show, I picked Vince as the greatest heel of all time. JBL very close, and I called it out on that. Murray says, "No, bro. Hogan was trash for real. Big boot, leg drop, and scoop slam is his moveset." I'm sorry, man. I can't agree, bro. There's this new thing where everyone thinks that you have to have 50 moves, but even people like Austin said it himself. Randy Orton. I mean, you can go through it if you want, but people won't be able to beat me on this. It's a fact because people went through with John Cena as well with a couple of moves. But look at what Randy Orton does. His moves, RKO, the DDT, the leg drop, the vintage Orton slam, and the superplex, and then everything else is just little things around the ring. So that's Randy Orton's fault. That's like 4 moves, bro. I can do it with The Rock as well. Greatest of all time for me. Only a few moves. Austin, name them. Name the moves. Name the moves. You know what I mean? Lou-Thesz press, the mud hole stomp in the corner, the stunner, the suplex every now and again, a body slam every now and again, never goes to the top rope, apart from the old elbow drop. You know what I mean? The little elbow drop, done. That's his moves finished. We can go, give me someone else, I'll give you more. You know what I mean? Even my favorite wrestlers have this thing. Ric Flair, you know what I mean? If you don't talk about movesets, Hogan and Ric Flair probably got the same amount of moves. Can you name every one of Ric Flair's moves? Probably can't. So, you know what I mean? It's one of them ones. Do you think the leg drop is the worst finisher in WWE history? Don't be silly. Come on, man. That lightning punch from John Cena is the worst in history. And that's why he only did it one time. Because, you know what I mean? When he done that to Elias, I thought it was over. Gladly he done it on a thingy, a home show or whatever. And that wasteland from Wade Barrett, trash move. But yeah. JBL doing salute in Germany, crazy, I don't think. yeah, big facts. He's on the heels, genuinely made me hate them except Tommaso Ciampa and Triple H. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, at the time, I absolutely hated him. So he's done his job. Actually, Hogan and Rock was great because of the crowd and who they are as a value. But in terms of wrestling ability, it's crazy, bro. What do you expect him to do a backflip? Do you know how old he was when he fought The Rock? Like, I don't understand. Like I said, bring somebody to me. Bring somebody to me who's not like a hardcore person or a high flyer. Just a heavyweight, and then give me their moveset. And then tell me how much are they? How many more against Hogan have they got? 3 more? I don't even like Hogan as well. But to say that he was trash is kind of crazy. Yeah, arguably, and I'm saying this for real, you guys wouldn't be in this chat now if there was no Hulk Hogan in the world. It's a big fact. It's a big fact, bro. I got, like, believe it all you want. Do your research on history, who was carrying the company early days. Trust me. Kane is a legend. Big facts. Just because it's a women's match shouldn't automatically main event. The match hadn't had the best build. Bobby deserves the spotlight. And I 100% agree. This is what I'm saying. I am all for, you know what I mean? People need to stop making it into this equality thing. It's literally who's going to be the best on that, who's going to be the best to close the show. It's not even on who deserves it more. But for me, the build's been that rubbish that I would not, the pressure you're putting on these two ladies to go out and pull the match off of the century. And on the WrestleMania, where we're first getting the fans back, the first thing with the fans back after the pandemic, if it doesn't go right or if it isn't that great, and judging by last year's WrestleMania, some of the matches were terrible. Yeah, madness. But those guys weren't stiff with it, balls. They knew how to make their moves entertaining. Bro, come on, man, Morris, bro. It's getting like there's an agenda now, bro. I don't like the guy, but you're talking about moves being entertaining. Go and look at the fans back then. Go and look at the fans, and that's what you need to see. What is their reaction to the leg drop and these moves and stuff? And the reason why they're going crazy is because it's Hogan, bro, doing the moves. It's not because of anything else. Nah, see, Brother Nero, you're just adding stuff in. I said his actual moveset. You can't count the low blow as his moveset. And the eye poke. You know what I mean? Like his proper moveset. You haven't got many there, bro. The chop, okay. Everyone does a chop as well. So you've named 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, compared to so you named about 6 proper ones compared to Hogan's 4. Come on, man. I'm waiting for you to give me 12 moves or something. Otherwise, it's a dead it's the dead thing. What makes them great isn't the moveset, it's the charisma, the stick mic work, the intensity, the build fuse. Only the best people can do it all. Understand? Well, there. Anna's answered it all for me, man. I ain't going to say no more on it because that's 100% what it is. It's a new age fans who keep talking about the moveset of people, but everyone knows The Rock is my favorite. Austin is my second favorite. He's very close. Yeah. Give me Austin's moves, bro. And then, you know what I mean? Because it's fine. You can say this about Hogan, but then you're going to have to compare him to the other people who are the head of the business. And if he's way off, if you're going to give me 12 moves of Austin and 12 moves of The Rock and 12 moves of Triple H, then fine, I'll shut up. But you can't, bro. You can't. So this is one of them ones. Man tried to give me a low blow, you know. Come on now. I love Bray Wyatt, but he's got like 6 moves beside the strikes and 2 of them are finishers. There you go. There you go. Just notice, yeah. It's a quick thing to know before we move on to the next person. Kai says safety, big fact. The people who are struggling the most of not getting certain things done have more moves. And every time you hear legends speak on podcasts and the Stone Cold podcast and memoirs and books and blogs and vlogs and all this business, they all say the same thing. Everyone's focused on doing 50 moves instead of doing 5 moves and telling a story. There's no storytelling anymore. You know what I mean? It's kind of the reason why Ricochet's struggling, because where's the story? I know what moves he's going to do when he does them. Fine. They're the most outrageous, outstanding, high-flying, great moves I've ever seen in my life. There's never a story in a Ricochet match. He's smaller than most people. When do I ever see the story of the little guy struggling to get somewhere? Eddie versus Brock is an example if you're a smaller guy. Yeah, there was a story was told there. Big bad Brock against Eddie Guerrero. You don't have a chance of beating me. Storytelling. That's what wrestling's about, man. If it was about just the in-ring movesets, then everyone who's on the indie circuit would be at WrestleMania. That's a fact. When everyone gets back, serious can't take serious wearing suit. Doesn't feel main event player anymore. You hurt romantic angle with Becky's it's a fair assumption. I love Seth. I do. I love what he's doing. I guess it's pretty hard to change it. I mean, to be honest, you got a massive point, but it's very hard to change up your style when you've been at the top, kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's why Undertaker's so great, because he was able to do because he was able to change the character so often. Not many people are able to do it, to be honest. So it is a harder thing than it looks. And the people, and when I say they're not, it's hard for them to change it. I mean, a lot of people change it and it don't work. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Jericho, Undertaker, and The Rock, Jericho, Undertaker. I don't think anyone's changed their character as much as those two guys and got it over. Back in the day, I was the Boss Man and Bushwhackers over the crowds. Definitely not their moveset. 100%. 100%. Yeah, Brother Nero, you just gave me all the moves that I just said were Austin's moves, but that's not many moves, bro. You give me there's little things in there like multiple punches where everyone does multiple punches. I don't know, man. I don't know. Might be an age thing, bro. Not even in a disrespectful way, but it might be an age thing because, yeah. Hey, Owen Hart, man. R.I.P. the big man. That's a great wrestler right there. He was ahead of his time, man. But yeah, British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, man. Listen, I'm English, bro. I'm from England, so growing up, he wasn't my hero or anything like that, but it was cool seeing somebody from England on the. He was just cool seeing someone from England on WrestleManias and stuff, and SummerSlam '92, which I was 2 years old at the time, so I don't remember it, to be honest. But I watched it probably like a year and a half after, maybe. I watched it at the time as well, but I don't remember it. Watched it after. Wembley crowd. It's the reason why I want wrestling back in England so bad, the main event, because of the British Bulldog. Really good career. He had loads of issues with like alcohol and all this stuff, and you know what I mean, the regular stuff what was in the 90s. But his impact on wrestling, yeah, it's great, and it's kind of crazy because I thought he would have been inducted into the Hall of Fame a long time ago. But yeah, man, he's in there. He's in there, and I don't know who's going to, you know what I mean, for all these people who've been inducted, my guess is NWO are going to be inducted by, I don't know. I actually don't know who they're going to get inducted by. But yeah, man. Crazy stuff. Brother Nero, yeah. Brother Nero's out here proving my point, bro. So, you know, and then, yeah. Anna, if you want to take this away with Juice and Thunder Liger, I mean, for someone who didn't spend his time talking on the mic, connected with the fans so much, still doing his thing now. He's still doing his thing now. And obviously because he has a suit on and a mask, don't ask me how old he is. All I know is that this guy has wrestled at big stages, and this guy was still wrestling in the community center just for the love of wrestling. And I have nothing but respect for the guy. I love him. Anna, very proud to show her son Thunder Liger, so it's absolutely dope. Anna says, David Boy Smith is absolutely legend for me. How is a Northern Ladder main event? Massive pay-per-view, massive opening up doors, European wrestlers, pinnacle of world wrestling. 100%, Anna, and that's how I feel about, everyone hears that. I know I said that I know him and stuff like that, but even take away me the fact that I know the guy when I'm so passionate about Pete Dunne, because I can see where it can go. Do you know what I mean? There's not many wrestlers who got to the head stage of WWE as an English person, but regular Northern lad doing his thing, David Boy Smith, and you know what I mean, Anna says Liger's 56. You wouldn't know it. So, but yeah, man, it's nice to hear these little stories. Brocky says, I agree with Savage. Why I said Logan Legends made for wrestling business, but I'm turning wrestling business start to fall asleep. Sorry, that's how I feel. But listen, I'm not saying if judging on your age, yeah, looking back at older wrestling will bore you, obviously, because Hogan isn't even Attitude Era as such. His years are before that, and then doing the NWO thing, and then moving on, and then being Hollywood Hogan. So I get it, stretched. It's kind of like watching a Ric Flair match. Because every time I ask for a great Ric Flair match, everyone will always give me the Ricky Steamboat match, but there's other matches. So I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying, whether you like it or not, the guy wasn't trash. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's actually crazy for someone to call Hogan trash. But yeah, the wrestling styles are different. And if you've grown up on. I mean, what's your age, Brocky? If it's younger than, I don't even know. You know what I mean? My son's 12, and the Hogan stuff he likes is the stuff what Hogan versus Vince and Hogan versus The Rock. That's about it. And he's 12, so it makes sense. No problem at all. My thing is just people disrespect. It's not the fact that that can't be true. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I like Hogan the most, and he's done some suspect things outside of WWE, but, you know. Who do you think will turn babyface? Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins sooner rather than later. Seth Rollins will headline WrestleMania. I don't want to see it, to be honest, but I think Seth will turn babyface before Roman. You got one from the back suplex. Oh, you know about the atomic drop? Yeah, that's a Hogan move still. Haven't seen Liger much in WWE. Wasn't part of Cruiserweight Classic a few years back. Red and black retired Tiger Mask. I think you might be on about Finger there. He was in the Classic though. Didn't have many matches. I think he had one match in the WWE, but you'll find this stuff on YouTube more. If you go on YouTube, because he does a lot of indie wrestling backstage, having people. So, yeah, a bit crazy. Lord of Darkness says why WWE. I mean, don't want to get into this too much, but his missus don't want it, so his wife doesn't want it. So you know what I'm saying? She yeah, I mean she got every reason to. Still blames WWE for the death. So yeah. Crazy. Yeah, good in the ring for his age, and if you see him in his prime, dope. 19. So he was born in 2002. Yeah, no wonder it makes sense then. It makes sense. Then by the time he was like 6 years old and probably into wrestling properly, it was 2008. There was no Hogan. So of course, anything you see, man. I'm guessing that if you look back at PlayStation 1 stuff, you'd probably think that's trash as well. Makes sense. So it's not like a disrespect at all. Hogan changed his character to keep relevancy in the current climate of wrestling landscape, either of his wrestler of the time. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he did Tyler Breeze in NXT. He was on. I can't remember what year it was. They have a random takeover match. Yeah. That's exactly what Anna was talking about as well. I remember the match with Liger and Breeze. I never thought I would say it was a dope match, man. Shout out to Elite Squad. Shout out to you, bro. Watch the Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah, that's a good thing. They're on YouTube as the full thing. It was a Vice documentary, but the whole thing is on YouTube. Every fan wants him to be inducted, but listen, you can't go against his family's wishes, so it's fine. But I feel like he deserves it so much. I was born 2000, but yeah, you almost got it. Okay, fair enough. I guess that you're 20 this year, doesn't it? Makes sense. Who else have we got on this list of the last one before we move on? That was it for the class of 2020. So let's move on to the class of 2021. I'm sure this one, everyone's going to have great stories. I'm very happy with this class. Hall of Fame class of 2021. The Big Red Machine Kane, Eric, Monday Night Wars Bischoff, the greatest Carly, like that, the greatest Carly, and Molly, Holly, like that. Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. Wait, look, it's Mighty Molly. Yeah. Yeah, because of the hardcore and crash. Listen, Molly, Holly, and that. The vibes, bro. Maurice Rain says, don't forget RVD. Yeah, I actually want to do a special show on RVD himself, man. Because I know they're filming a documentary on him right now, and I didn't want to put anyone in that they haven't announced on the WWE website yet. But for sure, RVD's going in there, man. We can talk RVD. In fact, you want me to add RVD to the list and talk about him now instead of doing a show directly on him? No problem at all, man. Add RVD in there, bro. RVD, man. Legendary stuff, bro. Like that. Settings. Big in the evasion angle as well, RVD. So I'm here for that, bro. But yeah, let's talk about these legends here, man. Let me just get. Hey Savage, congrats on Kane and the Great Carly. But Savage, I'm hearing rumors of Aleister Black at the Performance Center. Hey man, if them rumors are true, I'm here for it, man. Kane deserves legendary GOAT, and Eric Bischoff and Molly Holly and Great Queen there because Indian, and I respected that. Listen, in India, the Great Khali is as famous as Beyonce, bro. Like, I'm not. You can ask anyone the stories, bro. Like, I got a couple of Indian friends and that. Like, yo, shout out to Ampika and that. Yeah, you know the vibes. I remember working with her in this office. She told me about the Great Khali. She doesn't even like wrestling. She asked me if I know him. So it's been reported that Alistair Black has been dealing with minor injuries and been seen that door. Hey, you know, like that. Hey, man, like RBD and that. Okay, so confused at the car. Okay, and more baby face. The Dakota turn. How do you think the Dakota has this happened to? They are heels. They're not babyface. They're heel, man. Dakota Kai, I can see her doing a singles run on the main roster, so eventually that's going to split up because once Raquel wins that title, there's no way they're going to stay together. So I think Dakota Kai is the one who turns there. I'm on the other one. The submission specialist, the Great Khali. Listen, man got put in the vice, bro. Yeah, Great Khali versus Rey Mysterio in that. Great Khali with the debut and Undertaker. Listen. I mean, come on, let's face it. Without Hulk Hogan, there's no WWE. Yeah, there's nothing. It's not a. I didn't put that in this as a suggestion. It's 100% fact. No Hulk Hogan, WWE ain't the same, bro. I don't care what anyone says, bro. Yeah, trust me. Because when Vince brought the company off his dad, who was a superstar? Hulk, and that's who got him through the late 80s and the early 90s. So I love this, and Molly Holly totally deserves her place. The one and only woman at the time that refused to be glitzy. I love it. This is exactly what I was going to get into. We're going to speak about it right now. Molly Holly, ahead of her time, while everyone was, and no disrespect to those women, because jobs, money, different landscape. Yeah, I mean, couple sleazy man and that, but when everyone else was having bra and panty matches and diva search matches and nightgown matches and mud bath matches. Mighty Molly was in there. Molly Holly was in there just wrestling. Just straight up wrestling, you know, like that. I remember a few times I tried to get her in some of them things, and usually when they tried to put her in them things, she ended up beating someone up. So gassed that she's in now. She deserves everything she gets. I was so happy when they put her in the Royal Rumble a couple of years back. That was dope. So yeah, shout out to Molly. She deserved it. I'm very happy, and I hope that I think the Hurricane will probably induct her, which will be dope. I hope he comes out with his mask on as well, because, you know, like that. Name of that head thing was no joke, bro. I watched Rey Mysterio start coughing up blood and bleeding from his nose from that, you know, like that. Hey, listen, remember when he came out of the Punjabi prison match? I ain't going to lie, bro. I ain't going to lie. When he came out of the Punjabi prison match, bro, why did it take Randy Orton 10 hours to get back down? You know, like that. Could have climbed out, but anyway. Yeah, exactly what I just said, Morris. Dope. Nima says he's so happy for Kane. Bro, listen. Savage, I have been hearing many people call Adam Cole an overrated cruiserweight. Do you agree with that? I think anyone who thinks Adam Cole's an overrated cruiserweight doesn't. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude in that, but surely that you've got issues if that's what you think. But this geezer's great, man. Yeah, this is 100% now. Let me know, guys. Did anyone watch the bump yesterday when Undertaker let Kane know that he was going to be in the Hall of Fame? Now, I'm not saying I cried, but when I seen Kane cry and I seen Undertaker start get teary, bro, it broke me a little bit. I ain't going to lie, bro, because it was almost like, if you ever hear Kane, Glenn Jacobs speak about wrestling, I'm not making this up. It's almost like he doesn't realize how good he is. He doesn't realize the impact he's made on the business. It's crazy. Like, it's making me feel like he's making me give me the same feelings now. Yeah, and it was like, how can you be that great, that much of a legend, that much of a big part in the WWE business and pro wrestling business, and not know how good you are? It's absolutely crazy, and he deserves it more than anyone else. The fact that we're definitely going to get Undertaker to give him that, because no one else can really. I hope not anyway. I hope it's no one else. You know what I mean? Sure, they can go with like RVD or Daniel Bryan or all this business, but it has to be Undertaker. Kept his character relevant. You know what I mean? I always let people off with the tail end of their career, because, you know what I mean? They just start doing stuff for everyone else. And he's one of those guys if you watch the Untold documentary on Kane, he just wanted to make everyone else look better, which is crazy. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Lord of Darkness is happy for Kane. Yeah, man, Kane in the yeah. He couldn't believe it, bro. Couldn't believe it. Yeah, man, warrior-eyed for big facts. Savage, I cry because my child is getting old. I respect you, man. Give them their flowers while they're there. Shout out to you, Jeff Samuels, man. We gotta do it, bro. I might even make my own Savage Hall of Fame and start inducting people myself, bro, because it was dope to see, man. And I think the last time I watched Kane live was 2019, 18, 2008. One of them, Kane versus Braun Strowman. I was proper close to them as well, man. And I met Kane in the gym as well in England, so that was dope. But yeah, man, crazy stuff. Much love for Kane, man. That's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane. All right, bro. Listen, like that. Remember this? Suck it. Oi, X-Pac Kane and X-Pac and that. Guys, if you haven't seen it, I know everyone's young in the chat. I beg you, just go on YouTube, find the clip of Kane, Tory, not Tory Wilson, the other Tory, and I think it's just them two. And there's a part where Kane screams, "No!" Forever in my head, man. Dope, bro. I tell my kids, Savage, never give up and keep working, and don't cry, hold your heads up, you got this. Like that, Jeff Samuels. That's how you have to do with the kids and that. Now that we find out more stuff about these pro wrestlers, especially the ones who were in wrestling like 20 years back, it's very important that you just share the story and share what they're about and the work ethic. And for somebody like Kane, dope, man. Absolutely dope, bro. Yeah, I mean, up until like not long ago, and he's only retired to go and be the mayor of Knoxville, bro. Crazy. And he said himself, like, he was proper. Even when Undertaker told him, he was too busy thanking the Undertaker for everything. But Undertaker himself is like, listen, he's a massive part of Undertaker's career. Not a little bit, a massive part. Brothers of Destruction, the feud between them both. And like with Kane, he half had to settle with being the other one in the most respectful way, because that's Undertaker and you're the little brother, you know what I mean? But dope, man. Are they gonna have Taker come out as Mark, or the Taker character would be interesting? He's gonna come out as Mark, isn't he? I'd love it to be the regular. He's gonna come out as Mark with his ponytail and that. Like that. Kane can only be 100% facts. 100% facts. Yes, Savage, RVD and Kane are yep. Like that, bro. Remember, like Kane was even Team Hell No, bro. Talking about people keeping themselves relevant, and then Authority Kane, and then I ain't gonna lie, bro. We got a bit tailed off with the corporate Kane and that. There's a bit dodgy concessions Kane and that, but still, yeah. Do you think Charlotte leaves WWE Andrade for AEW? WWE not being WrestleMania? Do you think Charlotte's here? But she's got COVID. So don't know. I can't see her leaving. Not with all she's done in the WWE business. It's a different kettle of fish over in AEW. You know what I mean? But I think they'll be fine, man. It's one of those things. Like I said, you got Selena Vega's almost definitely going to go AEW. But Aleister Black's looking like he's going to stay here. Lana's over here and Rusev's over there. Adam Cole's over here and then Britt's over there. So I don't think it matters too much. Like I said, behind the scenes, people don't think how we talk. Well, I don't do that anymore, but a lot of people, you can do the comparison thing, but everyone keeps acting like these guys will hate each other behind the scenes and want each other to die and fail and stuff like that. Nah, a lot of it's friendly banter. Some of it's just competition. But there's a lot of connection they will have with each other. You seen what happened when we lost Luke Harper, Brody Lee, how everyone was connected. You know what I mean? So it's one of them ones, man. It's one of them ones. Nima, no way she's going to leave. Yeah, she ain't leaving. She ain't leaving, bro. When Tori told Kane was moving. My brother Nero's a G. He knows this stuff because that's exact. No! Well, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, brother. And let's not forget Kane and Katie Vick, May 19th. You know, like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Paul Bearer would be so proud of Kane. Yeah, man, Kane and The Undertaker, bro. Shout out to Paul Bearer, man. Massive guy in both of their careers. What's his real name? Paul Moody. Honestly, I can't imagine wrestling without Kane. I can't imagine it, man. Like, now it's a different time, but back then, Kane was in everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything, bro. So, why break up the best group in the world, Undisputed Era? I think it's leading to people moving up to the main roster and stuff. I knew Adam Cole eventually would break away. Had to be that guy. The way Roderick Strong spoke to Kyle O'Reilly in NXT, it looks like there's going to be no Undisputed Era, man. One of those things, it's a shame because I wanted to see him on the main roster first. But, you know. Corporate Kane, Long. Savage Charlotte not leaving. She'll be somehow back into internet sport. Yeah, she's not leaving. She ain't going to be in the WrestleMania match. Why I actually thought that, yeah, shout out to you, Morris. I actually thought that she would come back before I knew she had COVID. I thought she'd come back, she'd have a match on Raw against Rhea Ripley, lose, and then Rhea Ripley would take on Asuka at Mania. But, you know. Shout out to Jason Michael, Sup Savage, congrats to the Red Monster, or the Devil's favorite Demon Kane, and the Punjabi Playboy, the Great Khali, and Molly, and the badass heel Bischoff. We're going to talk about Bischoff now, you know, because he deserves his flowers too, bro. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't even know what Eric Bischoff is about, but I'm back. I'm better than ever. I'm back. I'm feeling stormy weather. Hey, listen. You know about Bischoff coming out in the karate tracksuit and that, ready to chop man up, yeah? Oi, do you think CM Punk will ever be in the Hall of Fame? Honestly, no. Should be, but it's very hard with the whole. He keeps throwing shots at WWE, bro. Like, I don't feel sorry for him not being in there because he just keeps running his mouth all the time. When he calms down and stops saying stuff, you know what I mean? May 19th, you know that. Elite Squad, I met Kane a few years ago at a gas station and talked to him for about 5 minutes. He's great, humble guy. Yeah, Elite Squad. I actually just said I met him in the gym when they came on a live show in Birmingham. He was lovely, man. Like, one of my best friends, he's the biggest Kane fan. I'm not making this up. He arguably is the biggest Kane fan in the world. I'm talking about he has a whole tattooed sleeve of Kane. He's got Kane's real mask. He spoke to the person who made Kane's mask. She spoke to Kane's wife for him, got the okay, got it made for him. Like, honestly, yo, dope guy. It's crazy, man. Thinking about Kane, the mayor guy is JR on fire, electrocute Shane's walls. I bet you, the people who live in yeah. Everyone who's in Knoxville's on good form all the time, bro. You know, like that. Ric Flair kind of confirmed on Twitter that Charlotte won't be in WrestleMania. WWE confirmed it anyway, and took her off the poster, so I kind of got it. Kane has been such a linchpin. Brothers of Destruction, the Authority, Team Hell No, also that weird storyline with AJ Lee, the Lita stuff, you know, and that hide and right kicking babies. Nah. You know, Snitsky kicking babies and that. Yeah, the Lita thing was weird still. I ain't gonna lie, bro. And the Katie Vick stuff, WWE don't want you to know about that, so let's not talk about it. Yeah. Kane should have the similar send-off to Taker because, as you said, he was always seen as the other one and not quite as equal, the same level, even though he was a little brother. Yeah, I agree. I think along with the Hall of Fame, he should get a special episode on Raw or something. Honestly, bro, this geezer's massive, bro. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that happens. Well, for people in the Hall of Fame, he was in 2005, Great Khali. Now Hall of yeah, man, dope. Yeah, it was Luke Gallows, man, Festus and that, you know the vibes. Simple deserve to be in the Hall. Yeah, I said he deserves it, but he won't be there, man. But yeah, a few people asking about Kane. Honestly, Kane he's one of the nicest wrestlers I've ever met. To be fair, I've not met a lot of people have had stories online about meeting certain wrestlers and them being scumbags, but every wrestler I've met, and the ones I met lately, Kane was in only a few years ago. Samoa Joe was a few years ago. Sheamus, Cesaro, Natty, there were Kofi, Rey Mysterio. They were all a few years ago when I met them, maybe like a year ago. Well, not a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. From 2018 upwards, all very lovely to me. So I have nothing but respect for these guys. Sup Savage, Hall of Fame is awesome news, you know, like that. Now the Hall of Fame. You know, like that, bro. Yeah, shout out to Randy Sam. You know, like that. Shout out to Landon Awesome. Shout out to you, brother. Oh my God, man. Yeah. You know what's funny? If you like go on Twitter now and look at Stephanie's last tweet where she congratulated Kane, she actually said all these lovely things about him, and at the end of the tweet she said, and we won't speak about Katie Vick. I couldn't believe she brought it up. Jack LeBombard, I'm a huge fan of yours. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, man. You know, like that Demon Team strong, worldwide things. I am a tag team. I'm a tag team. Dope. Paige and AJ Lee, Hall of Fame 2021. Shout out to AJ Lee, man. Dope. Weird ass character. She had it, man. Because when you hear her speak in real life, you realize how normal she was. I was like, yo, the character's even better than I thought now. Fella! Yo, Sheamus in the future for real Hall of Fame. Rey Mysterio is the nicest wrestler in the ring and outside. Yeah, he was lovely to me, man. I mean, it was weird because he spoke to me with his mask on. Like, this guy trains with his mask on, bro. That shit is funny to me, bro. You know about talking about taking your craft seriously? He was in the gym doing shoulder press with the mask on, bro. Shout out to him. People are editing some of WWE's network content. Okay, are they? Didn't know that. It's for advertisements on it, I guess. Savage, we can't lie. Kane in 2003. He burned Jim. You know what? We spoke about Kane. We spoke about the great Carly. We spoke about Molly Holly. Let's speak about the big man, Eric Bischoff, bro. Now, the one thing everyone talks about in the wrestling to this day, it's never going to go away. It's one of the greatest moments, eras of wrestling, the Monday Night Wars. And on one side, we had Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And on the other side, we had Eric Bischoff and WCW. And let me tell you, WCW is kicking WWE's ass for a very, very, very long time in TV ratings and everything. And to be honest, I'm not going to stand here and pretend like I never knew. I mean, like I knew what was going on. I didn't know about the TV ratings. Why? Because I was too young to know that stuff. But trust me, the Monday Night Wars wouldn't be a thing without Eric Bischoff. Invasion angle, Eric Bischoff. Him having to lose the Monday Night Wars, watch Vince buy WCW, and then eat humble pie, come over to Raw and SmackDown, and just concede that, and then just come on TV and just act like nothing happened and do his thing and book some great matches, some great feuds. Some of them were a bit dodgy, but who cares about it? That's what happens. Eric Bischoff deserves this a lot, man. I mean, it always seems a bit weird to me, and honestly, I get it, because Vince brought WCW. He owns the rights to all WCW videos and stuff like that, so they don't have their own Hall of Fame. So a lot of the things that some people get inducted for, like the Harlem Heat, for example, inducted because they should have been, fair enough, but obviously they didn't have anything to do with WWE. But as there is no WCW Hall of Fame, and WWE takes on the burden from that, Eric Bischoff probably should have been the first name from WCW in the Hall of Fame. But great. Even now, I like listening to him speak. He's speaking on podcasts and stuff. His insight to wrestling's great. It's great, man. It's a shame that it never worked out for him before the pandemic. Obviously, he was on Raw and Paul Heyman went to SmackDown, or was it the other way around? Yeah. Bischoff went to SmackDown and then Paul Heyman went to Raw, and it was lasted for 83 days, was it? We didn't even get to see him on TV. And it would have been cool to see, because you can see that Paul Heyman's effect on the business is great. So, you know what I mean? And obviously, you had that weird angle with him and Stephanie when he had the Vince mask on and incest angle going on. But just people like him and Vince, we can complain as much as we want, but these are the guys that don't ask anyone to do anything they wouldn't do. And I respect it. You know what I'm saying? So get back into the comment section. Vince was underrated too, 2003. I don't think he was, man. I mean, we spoke about the greatest heels of all time a couple of weeks ago. We had a whole show on it. I picked Vince as the greatest heel of all time, and yeah, he's dope, man. He's dope. Elite Squad, I wish I lived through the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars. Yeah, I mean, the Monday Night, like I said, I was I was living through the era of wrestling, but the Monday Night Wars was a bit confusing to me at the time because I was just focused on just both shows separately. But Attitude Era, absolutely dope. I never said WCW at the time. I got caught up since the whole McMahon and Bischoff war was great. I know he deserves a Hall of Fame place, but it's at Vince's mercy. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, listen, everyone would like to blame Vince and say, listen, you tried to embarrass some of the WCW guys when they came over. But honestly, you might just do that. When a man was causing you stress for so many years or so many weeks and months, and then you get to buy the company, you might just do them over a bit, like that, man. Yeah, some of them WCW guys got it when they came to WWE. So NWO, too sweet, big facts. Bro, and Bischoff was like, oh my God, yep. Them vibes there. Legend, didn't like him much when he went to TNA, but GOAT nonetheless. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I love his theme song though. They got to show us Eric Bischoff troll in 2005, legendary Vince, who never thought Vince worked together in 2002. So yeah, crazy, absolutely crazy. Savage, do you think since Roman said a while ago that he thinks he wanted to wrestle for the next couple of years and that he wanted to go to Hollywood if it happens, do you think he will be in trouble? In trouble? I don't think he'll be in trouble. I know. Don't you guys know that The Rock is going to do a remake of the Scorpion King, which I think it's too Scorpion King is that it's old, but I reckon they could cast Roman. Roman as a Scorpion King works. Obviously, you shouldn't just do it because The Rock's cousin. You should do it because he's good enough for the job. But the look of him, that works. Bischoff is the best GM ever, no question. Big facts. Would they let Chris Jericho? Yeah. So Deontay asked this at the beginning of the show because arguably he's one of those guys that it's hard in WWE. There's been so many wrestlers over the years that if you put a top 20 together of wrestlers, and a lot of people's top 10, Jericho gets in. Jericho's always in there without fail. So for me, he has to go in there. He hasn't disrespected WWE since he's left. You know what I mean? He just told the truth and stuff. I think he goes in. I think he probably goes in there once he retires from AEW. I don't think he'll be at AEW for that long. I actually don't think so. Obviously, he's in a rock band as well. So shout out to Dro Savage. Hi, how are you doing today, bro? Shout out to you, brother. I'm doing. I hope you're good as well. I'm going to be a TA for my senior year. I'll be the coach, ready TA. I think it will be 5 periods. Shout out to you, bro. Dope stuff. You don't like that? Congrats on that. Brother Nero has to be Teddy Long. Holla, holla. Like that. It's the Mac Militant. Buckle up, Teddy. Lord of Darkness, who is badder, WCW or AEW? What does badder mean in your sense right here? Do you mean in terms of a worse company or do you mean in terms of the better one? Because if you're talking about AEW is not on WCW's level anyway. No way. So they've only been here for just over a year and a bit. So if it's in terms of a negative, then obviously AEW is worse than WCW. WCW was dope, man. Just got a bit dodgy towards the end, but yeah, man. When they worked together and then Stone Cold stunned the hell out of him. Maurice Bischoff was the best heel authority figure. I listened to yesterday. I'm back. Like that. I'm back. I'm better than ever. I'm the man. Yeah, big tune. I listened to it on my gym playlist. Bradley Masamba. You go. I want to take out Miss Teddy Long. Teddy Long's it. Buckle up, Teddy. G. I mean, WWE to be in trouble. Oh, in case you know about Roman leaving. I think when Roman goes to Hollywood, he'll do what everyone else does. He'll just be in movies and then keep wrestling for a bit. But obviously, they need to have a plan because no one wants to go through what people went through in the 90s with brain injuries and having to be addicted to painkillers and stuff like that. So I think all these guys nowadays have a plan to leave. That's why I kind of didn't agree with Undertaker when he said that wrestling today is soft. Well, the wrestlers are soft because they're playing games in the change room and stuff like that. I mean, people are thinking about their future. So, you know, like if Xavier Woods, for example, got fired from WWE today, he'd be fine. He didn't have to wrestle again. He'd be fine. He'd just go and do his up, down, down thing. He'll be cast on Nickelodeon and all these game shows and stuff like that. You know what I mean? People do it, man. If Lana left, she got all these Fashion Over contracts and all this stuff. Leo Rush is a musician and a wrestler. You know what I mean? Everyone's got their thing going on now. It's better for people, and there's always wrestlers coming through. Deontay says, "Who's ready for WrestleMania?" We are ready for WrestleMania, bro. You know, like that. Shout out to the girl of Roblox. Of course, I remember you, bro. You ain't been on, bro. I swear you was messaging from a long time ago, man. Of course, man. Yeah, the Matt Militant, you know, like that. Tag team match player. Oi, bruv. Come out with his long ass coat. Remember when Teddy Long was a referee, bruv, and then you seen him as a manager and you was a bit confused, like, swear I've seen this guy before. Yeah, man. I never thought Vince would allow Bischoff in the Hall of Fame. I thought he was going to be another Marty Jannetty type shit. Well, I mean, after Marty Jannetty's tweet last year, he ain't going to be, you know, like that, bro. And I kind of get it still. But with Bischoff, yeah, I thought he'd be in the Hall of Fame. You can't talk about the Hall of Fame without John Cena and Randy Orton. Well, kind of can, because they're not been inducted yet. We're only speaking about the people that have been inducted. But I get what you're saying, bro. Hope we were able to take off the rain. Haven't been good for a bit lackluster. Yeah, I think. Did anybody watch Rhea Ripley on Raw Talk? Very impressive on the mic, man. It goes back to what I said when people were talking about the Australian speech. I said with Murphy that I said that it wasn't about him being Australian. It was about his particular Australian accent. Because Rhea, as a heel, because that's what she's going to be. Sound dope, man. Don't matter. This maniac, step over. You know, like that. Big facts. What I seen, it was a terrible show. It was a mess. Yeah, well, the problem is that the big stars like Kevin Nash and stuff were running the show themselves. They had full creativity. That's when they all started to go pear-shaped, because a lot of people were staying at home and getting big checks. Meanwhile, people like Eddie Guerrero and that were just resting their ass off, and Jericho and stuff like that. Is Nyla Rose better than Nia Jax? No, man. I think there's a weird thing with Nia Jax. I feel like WWE is not getting the best out of her because they're using her as just a regular person. But when I say the size of her, I'm on about the height as well. They have to use her the way they was using her on NXT. I don't know what this new thing is, but Undertaker finger room and bang stabs. Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm guessing it's a bit weird to think like that, but you know what it is. If you take away from the fact that he's Undertaker and then look at his age and then speak to regular men in real life, I mean, they're the same. So it's just one of them things. I think it's age. Don't forget about Eric Bischoff's storyline with Linda. Shout out to Linda McMahon, man. You know what I mean? I know she works with Donald Trump and that she's part of the Trump administration, but yeah. So I'm going on there, man. Shout out to Jamie Lost Serious or something there. Yeah, he did, man. What is your favorite WWE pay-per-view event? Royal Rumble. WrestleMania is a weird thing, you know, because I love the spectacle of WrestleMania. I love everything around it. It's kind of like asking me, is the Super Bowl better than the playoffs or something? Well, some of the playoff matches are way better than the Super Bowl final matches, but the spectacle around it, you know what I mean? Performers, the set, the little, you know what I mean? The matches and stuff, the moments. But I love Royal Rumble, man. It's my thing, man. I loved it when I was a little kid. When Teddy was SmackDown, everybody didn't like he punched me. Yeah. Sheamus and Reba had good promos on Raw Talk. Most of the talent don't need scripts. They don't. You've seen it now that when you take away the talent script, it makes them better. Hence why Roman's so good. I'll tell you what was a weird thing. You know the part on Raw when Bobby went into the change room and he said, you guys want to have a title opportunity. I need you to take out Drew McIntyre. It made me really sad because when I looked around that room, it was like Grand Metalik and Drew Gulak, and in the corner you can see Ricochet sitting there. And I was like, bro, it's probably not even going to be Ricochet to try and take him out. Is it? It's not. Man was sitting there with his hat on, loving life, like that. Same with Andrade. He spoke. I think it was who was it? It was, I think it was Primo or Epico. I don't know. One of them spoke on a podcast this week, and they said that they had been speaking to Andrade, and he said he just wanted to. He said he was turning up every week and having to sit in catering, and he said it's not about money. He just wanted to wrestle, and I felt him on that, man. And it's got to get like that for Ricochet too, especially somebody who performs at such a high level. Down to Nexus Hall of Fame, no way, bro. Husky Harris and them man there. Where's Linda McMahon? I just said, bro, she works with Trump. I'm not joking, bro. So that's her job is with the Trump administration, bro. This is the whole dodginess behind WWE being able to carry on wrestling in the pandemic because the president said they're allowed to. Why did the president say they're allowed to? Is because Vince McMahon put a couple million into the Trump administration. And what happened then? Well, then Black Wednesday happened and some man had to go. Adam and man doing some great business back in the day. Yeah, man. He's in that picture of like Triple H, Stephanie, Shane. I don't even know if Shane's there, but Triple H, Stephanie, Vince, Linda, and all the kids in the Oval Office with Trump. Ah, man. Yeah, I agree. Elite Squad, that's my one as well. Yeah, big politics, man. Rhea was one. Yeah, she's heel, bro. She's heel for sure. That thing, man. The promo was dope. Shout out to Nima, bro. Thank you very much. Don't worry, Nima. We're going now anyway, so it's all good. Yeah, no serious guys calling for 205 low players, but this might be the calling card for Ricochet. Yeah, Morris. What I think is, if Ricochet doesn't do anything with this, and he might not even be the one, but if he doesn't do anything with this, I think we're done. I think, yeah, I mean, might be Humberto or someone because he just didn't even. There's no emotion from him, bro. I don't know. I would. He has to go back to NXT, bro. Honestly, right now, give me Velveteen Dream on the main roster and take Ricochet, bro. Like that. May Humberto take. Yeah, exactly. You never know, man. Problem with Vince is so set entertainment part of the modern era. It's stifled a lot of the new talents because the indies are so different. They're so wrestling oriented. It's a big change. Yeah, I agree. This is the reason why AEW works for so many. The people that are in AEW now, apart from the ones who've come over from WWE, they wouldn't be too great on WWE because you're right, the entertainment factor. Now, I don't know on a percentage what it would be, but I'm saying that the entertainment is probably like 65% of the wrestler's job, and then the other 35 is the actual wrestling. And sadly, a lot of these guys, Ricochet, probably one of the most talented people in the ring you'd ever see in terms of what he can do, but sadly, that's not what you need, man. Someone like AJ Styles might need to take him under his wing and show him the way and, speak to him a bit because, yeah, it's sad watching what's going on, man. Bradley says Ricochet is now a jobber. Who did Adam Cole remind you of? Yeah, I know. He's got a bit of Shawn Michaels about him, Adam Cole. A lot of Shawn Michaels, and it's his favorite wrestler, so you can see it. It's kind of natural where I see this happening. Bradley Ricochet is now a jobber. Mate, he's not even being used as a jobber. That's the thing, bro. He's just there. You just see him in the background every now and again. Keith Lee, mate, I can't wait for him to come back. I miss Austin Aries, bro. Yeah, man, but I don't respect him for what he done in. You know what I mean? That no soul really, really peed me off, bro. Honestly. Do you think WWE will be more edgier again? And what is stopping them from going back to the old days? Minus Chris number storylines, advertisements, and money is stopping them. So I don't know if you guys are aware when they have these like big conference talks and stuff, you can listen in on them, you can watch them. And I watched the last one, which was a year ago now, maybe a year and a half ago. And they were talking about they want to make WWE part of pop culture, and that's why there's always like the Bad Bunnies and stuff coming in. They're more interested in it as a business than wrestling, to be honest. And so getting edgier, I think if the world gets more edgier, they will get edgier. But the fact is, the world's getting more PC. The world's getting more. Everyone's sensitive about everything. If something happens, it's to do with race. It's to do with sex. If you know what I mean. If I don't know, for example, if somebody's black and rubbish at wrestling, then you're calling him rubbish because he's black, or if somebody's gay and rubbish at wrestling, it's because he's gay. Blah blah blah. Let me put a rainbow flag on my shoes. Like it's not gonna get edgier, bro. It's not. Until the world changes. It won't, and the world just getting more and more meh. So I feel about it, bro. Savage. I'm going to be a teaching assistant for my senior year or coach, but I'll use teaching assistant. I think it will be 5th period. I will have 5 or 6 periods. I'm excited for you, man. This could be dope, bro. Teaching assistant. It's a powerful job, you know. Teaching is a powerful job, more powerful than people know, man. You're teaching the future of little kids, man. So people like me are counting on people like you for the future, these future kids. Sorry, guys, just checking the time, man. England's playing a football match very soon, so I'm going to watch that. WWE should bring back match card graphics for. Yeah, 100% agree with this. I've got a couple saved on my phone because somebody made me one of Randy and Seth and Roman. It looks so good. Nothing beats RKO. Sorry, don't know who that's to, but okay. Savage, did you just call the HBK standoff? Is that after the Regal? After we took out Regal, man. Aries is an ass. He's fantastic, but he knows his worth. That's his problem. Yeah. It's true. Isn't AEW edgy though? AEW doesn't have to worry about their advertisements as much because they've built their company on being edgier straight away. There's edgier, don't get me wrong, there's edgier advertisements you can go for. You can go for, instead of going for KFC, you can go for Budweiser or something. Instead of going for, I don't know. The thing is, AEW ain't doing Make-A-Wish Foundation stuff. They're not doing kids' cancer charities. They're not doing Susan P. Komen's cancer thing. So, like, you see where I'm going with it? Like, it's one of those. It's all advertisements. And thing is, Vince is the sole. The wrestling WWE is not owned by just Vince McMahon. It's just that he owns more of a percentage than anyone else. So I think Vince owns 55% of WWE, and the rest have gone to like shareholders, 5% there, 10% there. So they have a say in the company. Vince is the more powerful one than them by 5%, but it's still, you have to listen to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit of a weird one. Jack Roberts will never win a title. I think yeah. Should Rusev go back to WWE? No, don't think he's ever going to come back. I actually don't like the Miro character on AEW. I seen him 2 weeks ago when it kind of turned heelish. It was cool, but Morris because AEW didn't sponsor. Yeah, exactly. You sponsored by like Make-A-Wish. These are kids dying. Then you know what I mean. It's one of those ones. Paul White revealed the original plans for Raw Legends Night was for Randy to pie face him into a chair. Yep, 100%. And he actually said he wanted to wrestle, but I think he said that Vince told him to his face that he won't be used like that anymore. So he just said, forget it, which is fair enough, man. I like it though because there's no bad blood there, so I like that. What the edge of future humans are in nature? Yeah. Vince, as a business, take away the fact that we love wrestling. The world is way more sensitive, and I don't mean, I'm not speaking in the Undertaker everyone's soft way. I'm speaking in the terms of people are choosing to be offended by stuff that they're not even offended by now. So you can imagine how hard it is to run a business in this world. You just make your money and get on with it, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to be all inclusive. I mean, you think about it. 3 years ago, Women's Evolution, the whole thing was around women, which is perfect. It had to be, because not from a business point of view, even though WWE was, they can try and act like they weren't, but from a business point of view, and from a moral point of view, if you look at stuff what happened back in the day with the women, you know what I mean, get on your knees and bark like a dog and brown panties matches, seemed a bit rich coming from WWE to do the Women's Evolution thing, didn't it? So just noticed that Vince stayed away with the Women's Evolution, and then they got on with it. You know what I mean? It was only a few years ago, well, before she died, when they wasn't putting China into the Hall of Fame because of a sex tape. I mean, what do you do now? It's sensitive. It's sensitive now because it's like because I'm a woman doing what I want to do, you can't put me in the Hall of Fame. And now they released the Paige one, and then there's Victoria, and then there's naked photos of Charlotte and stuff been leaked. And now you're like in a position where you're like, listen, we have to put her in the Hall of Fame. So obviously she got put in with DX, but I'm still waiting for China to be put in on her own because she deserves it. 100%. Stephanie tweeted that those charities things are WWE's long term. It's a fact. It's a fact. And they sign contracts with like 10 years in advance. So of course it makes sense now. Yeah, it's true. I forgot to mention Big Money Matt the other day as being a former WWE guy in AEW. Yeah, Big Money. Matt Hardy's sick, man. He can just change up his character when he feels like it. I promise, I don't promise, but I expect Jeff to be joining him by the end of the year, man, because he's been wasted, bro. But for a surprise invasion angle, using Matt would be dope. You could connect Matt and Jeff and to start it, to be honest. It would be cool. WWE need to bring back blood. It's not going to happen, bro. If you notice that even on their YouTube videos, if any blood happens on accident, it goes black and white. That's how sensitive it's got. Little kids don't even care about that, to be honest. You know what I mean? Little kids are exposed to more than they ever were. So I'm just starting National Anthem for the Matt Savage. Okay, so I'm about to jump off. Thanks for letting me know, Anna. Do you think The Fiend is Dallas or regular Bray Wyatt? Oh, regular Bray Wyatt. I can see it from the tattoos. But it'd be cool if it was. Poor Ricochet, wasted talent. Yep, 100% facts. So I'm going to be... Oh, yeah, I spoke about this already, Dro. No, Kevin Owens room for what, please? I don't want to see him wrestle each other for another 2 years, maybe, man, honestly. WWE should bring back No Mercy and No Way Out pay-per-view. I agree. Bring back Armageddon as well. And Backlash. Jeff Hardy said he wants to be WWE champion again. Hopefully. But I don't trust the fact that they will make him WWE champion, to be honest. And if they do, he'll be champion for about 2 weeks. And then, All right, guys, man. Thanks for joining me here on the Savage Talk podcast. Well, it's not a podcast, but the Savage Talk live. Very dope. Hall of Fame 2020 and 2021. I'm very excited to see it. Obviously, we will be doing the live stream when the Hall of Fame's on. I'm not expecting many people to be in. A lot of people don't care about the Hall of Fame as such, but I'm excited to watch it. And I might as well do a live stream because either way, I'm going to watch it. So, but yeah, man, it's been dope. Thanks everyone for joining me. We've done an hour and a half. It's funny because every time I come on to do a shorter one, I end up doing it longer than I was going to do in the first place. But I do enjoy speaking to you guys about wrestling. Morris says Backlash is already a pay-per-view. Yeah, it's already a pay-per-view, but don't do it constantly every year. That's what I'm saying. I need it to be there all the time. So shout out to everyone in the chat, though. Bradley, Anna, Alexa, a.k.a. Claire. Shout out to Randy, Morris, Brother Nero, Deontay. Walter says, what's up? I'm about to go, but shout out to you, Walter. Shout out to Dro. Shout out to Durin. Shout out to Lord of Darkness. Everyone in the chat, man. It's been emotional. # Demon Team, like that. But, yeah, man, it's been fun. You know the vibes. We're here again. Next show is SmackDown reactions. And then we'll move on from there. And we're getting closer and closer to WrestleMania. That week is going to be dope. It's going to be full of absolute loads of watch along. So hopefully you will join me for it. But yeah, you know the vibes. I've been your boy, Good Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, and share if you see the Fiend, if you see a pedophile. Run.